Okay, here we go, live for our Pearls of Sharing. This is the infamous Stephanie Brotherton, our first line Offspring Sales Director. So super excited to have her share her story and some training with you today. I just showed the studio. We are at the studio. We've been working with Linda Tupin for strategy workshop. So sorry for those of you that were already on and got to hear that twice, but anyway, I'm going to let her get started.
All right, you guys. Well, my story goes way back and I won't go into detail, but I found Mary Kay because my friend was finishing earning her car and she told me I had to join Mary Kay. So I joined her little team, had a blast, loved Mary Kay, did very well with Mary Kay, but my life was kind of a hot mess. And at that time I had this beautiful adopted director because my director was out of Kansas City. So I had this beautiful adopted director that looked a lot like Jen, because she was Jen. And so I left Mary Kay for just personal reasons, you guys. Not my best decision. I don't believe anyone needs to leave Mary Kay to get their life straight, but I did. And when I came back in about 5 years later, I called Jen because she was so good to me when she made no money on me. And I said, I'm going to make you a lot of money. And I'm sure she was like, sure. Because, you know, she didn't know who I was really.
You're a woman of your word.
I sure was. So yeah, that was 13 years ago in June, like this month.
Yeah.
Like any day now. We were having coffee, right? We just heard Linda talk about it. We met at I think it was a smoothie shop. I'm thinking smoothie. And Jen bought me a smoothie, which to me at the time was very expensive. Like I didn't have extra money for a smoothie. And when she said she'd buy me a smoothie, I was like in love. It didn't take much to buy my love back then. So it was pretty exciting. Jen was actually getting ready to go on some kind of trip, maybe the top director trip. So it was pretty awesome. So that was 13 years ago, you guys. Became a director 2 years in, earned my card 2.5 years in. And yeah, here I am. And I'm telling you what, we just got to hang out with one of the giants in this company, Linda Tupin. And yeah, she changed a lot of things for me today in a really good way. So if you're feeling like dry, you guys, or you're feeling just kind of disconnected because of the world we've been living in, and you may not even know it's the world. You may think it's you may think it's Mary Kay. Don't give up. Okay, wait, go to some in-person events. You will get it back, because that's what I got today. So that wasn't really what I was going to talk about, but really I just realized how much I'm missing our Mary Kay Pink Bubble. And I love virtual. I'll do a lot of virtual from here on out, but you need to be with your people. So, okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys today about Klarna, Klarna, Klarna. And it's an app. Okay, you have to get the app, and it is a way for you to break payments into 4 payments. Okay, and I say payments because it's not affiliated with Mary Kay. This is some brilliant. I listened to the history of it on YouTube.
Like Sezzle, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know Sezzle very well. Yeah, and I used a different one recently to pay for an Airbnb. Yeah, but the difference is the company I used for my Airbnb, they had to be at checkout. So like when I went to get the Airbnb, it came up and said, you can use this program to break your payments up. And I'm like, great, click. Klarna is an app, and you go in there like it's an internet browser. So I'll pull it up. So instead of going to Google Chrome or something like that, yeah, I just don't know if Klarna, since it's an app. So we'll try and share it on my screen. Okay, so it looks like this little pink K, which is so appropriate, is it not?
It is.
Okay, so it's loading. So Klarna is an app. And what I did, you guys, is I had my Mary Kay order ready to go. I had the money to pay for it, but I wanted to try Klarna. So I got my order already. Okay, you could do your order through Klarna, but I got my order ready on my computer in internet browser. I saved it, and it's loading very slowly. Okay, there we go. So do you see it just says search or type URL? This is so brilliant of them. And so I just go put Mary Kay in touch. And you can go to anywhere. You guys, I believe, I have not tested this yet. I believe your customers can use Klarna to pay for orders on your marykay.com. Like I think all they have to do is go through Klarna to your thing, and they can set up 4 payments on an order from you. Okay, so I have to log in to InTouch. Well, I don't even need to go in there. So this is what's brilliant. See this little K-Pay? When you get to checkout, you just hit K-Pay. And it says create a one-time card. And then it comes up and asks you how much money you want. So I just put in my full order. It was a $600 order. I put in $756. I had some samples on there. I put in that I wanted $756 on this credit card, and it came up and said, you're approved for 4 payments of $196. And then it came back and I said, okay, continue. And then it came back and said, okay, your first payment needs to be $297. What I've researched is your first time using Klarna, your first time payment may be a little bit higher because they're testing me out, right? Like they only do a soft credit check. And so they saw that I was somewhat reliable, but they're not going to like risk it all. So I did have to make a $297 and it automatically came out of my bank account.
Okay.
So I didn't have to put in a card. It took that off. The order was processed. So Mary Kay got $757 from Klarna. So fascinating. And then I
then you
pay
make
Klarna
payments from-
every
okay.
2 weeks. So my other payments due in 2 weeks is like $197. And I can pay it off early, which I'll probably do this week because I had the money. But you can just do the payments.
So then you go into Klarna to actually make the payment.
Yes. Or
Okay.
I think it automatically comes out, to be
Okay.
honest. I think it'll just come out.
Okay.
If you wanted to do it faster, you can go in. When you go into the Klarna app, you can click on purchases and it'll show you. Because I think you can go do multiples. I heard this YouTuber, she was like, yeah, I got one. I'm waiting on my shoes from Amazon. And I don't know. I think you get in trouble. Don't get in
Yeah,
trouble.
right. I could get in trouble.
I'm like, maybe just the one time. But a couple things. One is I think your customers could do this on our website. So you could tell them you take payments through Klarna,
Right.
right? And you can just tell them, go get the Klarna app. So you would get all the money, right? If they bought a $300 roll-up bag, you would get $300. They could make payments. You don't have to worry about doing payments.
Mhm.
You don't have to run their cards, all of that. And it's interest-free. They actually offered me a 12-month option on my $700 order, but they were going to put interest. So beware of that. Okay. Don't be going popping interest on if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
So it gave me that option.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
The other reason you guys would be like, maybe you, like I had a party the night before the last day of the month, or like Star, right? Star's on the 15th. If you're working and you've sold $2,000 by noon on the 15th, but you don't have all the money yet,
Right.
it's
a good
perfect. Use
option.
Klarna,
Mhm.
do your Star, and then pay it off in a few days. So it'll buy you a little bit more time when we're just trying to collect all that money,
Right.
right? From customers and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
I love that.
Okay. Questions on Klarna? Because I'm going to move on to something different.
Yeah. So comment below the video if you have some questions. We'll try to cover those for sure. And yeah, she has a couple more things that she wants to.
I keep forgetting what the other thing is besides Vizzly. Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that. I will have to give you the typed list of how to do it
Okay.
because I won't be able to tell you now, but what I can tell you is how I'm using it. So you guys are going to laugh at me because I have like 2,800 friends on Facebook, and I was going to type them all up because since going virtual, I was like messaging them, and I started in the A's and I was working to the B's, but then I would kind of forget who didn't respond. And I'm like, I'm a paper and pen girl. I wanted to be able to track them.
Me too, yeah.
And so I started to go in and type every woman's name that wasn't, and I'm like, there has got to be an easier way. Can I just all tell you, this is for the sake of my husband who does IT, but you can Google or YouTube almost anything. All right. So I went in and Googled, can I print my Facebook list? And it was like, yes, you can. And there were like 20 demos. So you can do, or I have it written down that I can give Jen to even post these comments. But there is a way to go into your settings and on your Facebook friends. I couldn't figure out a way to like weed them out. Like I couldn't find a way to filter it
Okay.
to get rid of like Mary Kay girls. So it's like 100,000 pages, right? So I did copy and paste that into like an Excel sheet. I probably took an hour and kind of cleaned it up. You don't have to. I just was trying to say paper and ink. So you can print your Facebook list. And you guys, what I do, I still am not getting the numbers you get unless you're doing like a party or from someone. Like, keep working your business the way you are. Okay. But there were quite a few days, especially back in like February when it was cold and nasty out. And there were just moments where I'm like, I've got an extra hour. I've confirmed all my parties. I've done my bookings, and I would just sit down and message. And I would do 1 or 2 sheets at a time. It was like a win for me. I would highlight anyone who was my customer. I would cross out any men. I would cross out any Mary Kay girls. And then I would put the date at the top of that sheet when I finished it. I mean, I'm only through like 6 of the like 50 sheets. It'll be a year project, but it does make sure that we're not missing anybody, right? And you know those times when you're like, what do I do now?
Right.
I don't know what to do today.
I'm out of
I'm out of
contacts,
contacts.
Mhm.
And then you,
Mhm.
it gives you something to work on,
Mhm.
you know? So, and the greatest thing about Facebook, you can do it at 9 o'clock at night. So you're not using up your good hours during the day. You can put a
Right.
movie on and you can copy and paste.
Absolutely.
And a
Yeah.
lot of them, you guys, I mean, how many of you have people you have no idea who they are?
So give us kind of an example of a script that you might use.
It is really okay. So if I don't know them, like I've gone to their Facebook and I see we have 400 mutuals, but I don't know barely any of the 400 mutuals. I message them and I go, hey girl, you're going to think this is funny, but do you have any idea how we know each other? And they never know. They probably, what I'm learning is people take those suggested friends and they
Oh,
friend request. I don't do that. Like if I don't know
Right,
them,
right.
you know how Facebook comes up and says,
yeah.
suggested
Oh,
friend.
she looks cute. Or
Yeah, or
she
they
looks
have
fun.
400 friends with you, but those 400 friends are from 20
Right,
different. So
right.
sometimes I'll just say, how do I know you? And then they're like, I don't know. Ha, ha, ha. And then I'm like, well, I do Mary Kay full time. You know, do you have a consultant? I'd love to send you a pampering packet. And sometimes they say, yeah, I do, or I'm not interested. And honestly, sometimes you know this, it feels better to cross them off
Yeah.
even as much as it is
Yeah.
to highlight them. So then I'll invite them to an event or something like that. If it's a friend or someone I do know, the conversation is like, girl, I don't think I've asked you about Mary Kay in a long time. Or have I ever asked if you have a consultant? Because you guys know this, believe it or not. There are people in our life that we have never asked.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they will sign up with one of our consultants. And then we're mad at
Right,
ourselves.
right.
Yeah. So it's usually very simple. How do we know each other? Or, hey girl, have I ever asked you about Mary Kay? Do you have a consultant? I'd love to send you a pampering packet in the mail.
Perfect.
Because we have such convenience now. We're not even asking them to meet us face to face yet, right?
Right. Love it.
So that's
Okay, we
it.
do have a question
Okay.
from Janine. Is there a fee or percentage charge on Klarna, and how does Klarna make money?
Janine, we think so much alike. I tried to find that. I Googled how does Klarna make money because I was like, this is too good to be true. I don't believe they make money on the 4. They get the people on the 12 months. And my guess is, let's say that because I have this one open right now with Mary Kay, my guess is, let's say I went to Amazon and tried to use it. They probably wouldn't approve me for the 4. They would try and get me on a 12-month with interest is my guess. So they're probably getting people more long-term and
Well, let's just be
advertising.
honest, like we're responsible, but not everybody is.
And we
so-
weren't always.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's it, that they're playing on people not being responsible.
And probably advertising. And for all I know that if they like if you took a 12-month credit with them, it may be other credit card companies that they put you on
Yeah.
that pay
Yeah.
them. So they don't, there was no interest, there was
They
no
wouldn't do it
fee.
if they didn't make money.
Yeah. But I
Right?
will tell you, I had a new consultant. She was trying to do her 600. She'd sold 3 and she said she was only approved for half. So it was pretty close to what happened to me. I really think that's just happening to people because she kind of told me her credit scores in the 500s. Mine's like closer to 700. So I don't necessarily think it's based on credit. I think you're going to have to build up a little bit. So just know you probably will have to make like a 1/4 to half of your payment the first time, but it's perfect for when you're working towards STAR or end of June, June 30th, and you need a little more push and you just haven't
Yeah.
collected all those orders. Or, you know, you have 10 parties, right? You all have 10 parties,
That's
July
right,
1st or
that's
July
right.
3rd. Yeah. So it's a short-term fix. This
Okay.
is not a long-term fix, but it's a great short-term fix.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Tell us about Vizzly.
Okay. I'm new to Vizzly too, you guys. I'm
gonna-
new to all
I'm
this.
getting ready to join this, so I'm super excited.
I'll tell you a funny story. I started doing Facebook parties that I had been taught by Jennifer Bessiger. Have they seen that? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay. So it's not really different than what you've probably seen Jen do. It's
I
posting
do
for,
very similar to Jennifer.
I was going to say, it's posting for 7 days. Hers is 7 days.
We do 3 usually.
Okay. So posting for a certain amount of times, post throughout the day. And then on the last day, you go live at a very specific time. So when I book a hostess, I'm still booking her for Monday the 7th. Like I have one tonight. They knew that it was June 3rd at 7 p.m. is her party. The posting just leads up to that party.
That's what we do.
I mail them samples, all of that. So I had booked like 3 or 4 and I had done 1 or 2 and I was sitting down and I'm thinking, I cannot redo these posts all the time. This is crazy. So I like typed the post and then I copied it and put it in a Google Doc. And I'm bragging to my friend, she's my running partner in Kansas City, a director. I'm like, girl, I'm so on it. I even copy and pasted all my posts. So it only take me like an hour. I'm laughing. It only took me an hour to set up every party, like schedule all the posts for a week. She's like, Stephanie, go to Vizzly.com right now. I'm like, I've heard of this. So Vizzly.com, it's Vizzlie. Okay. I think I paid $10. I need to go look. There is a free version. So I think I'm on like a free trial, but I believe it's only $10 a month. So I go to Vizzly, I sign in, it links to my Facebook. So it pulls all of my groups. And she sends me this little 5-digit code. And it says, download a shared template, put in the code. I put in the code. Da-da-da! All 7 days of post appear on this Vizzly in my account. And all I have to do is click on Riley's Mary Kay sampler party, start date, May 25th, which is 7 days before her party. And I'm done. It posts for the next 7 days on Riley's party. All I have to do is when I get notified on Facebook that somebody commented on a post, I go in and like that they commented, or I might comment on theirs. So the party's already done. I'm going to use it over and over and over. I have 12 parties, I think, in June and July booked right now. I will go ahead and schedule all 12 right now. It'll take me 20 minutes to do all 12 parties, not an hour per party. So Vizzly.com, I don't think it's 100% user-friendly if you're not techie at all. I'm not super techie, but probably more than the average. And it took me a couple minutes of kind of experimenting. Again, there's a YouTube that will tell you how to use it, but we can give you codes.
Yeah, that's what I was just
The codes are shareable. Jen even found another director had put out like 5 different codes that we could use. So as long
different
as
types of parties.
right.
Yeah.
So if you're doing Facebook parties, don't copy and paste and recreate the wheel.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions
Yeah.
on that. So on the groups that you're in,
Yes.
do you have to be administrator or moderator on those groups to come up on Vizzly?
I am 99% sure because
Okay.
that's all I'm seeing on my Vizzly.
So if I have a new consultant who creates a group,
Yeah.
then I would want her to make me an administrator.
Correct.
So that group would show up for me to do the posting.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you have to be an admin or I don't really know the difference. What is the difference in an admin and moderator? Do you know?
I don't.
Cass, what's the difference in admin and moderator on a group? Do you have any idea?
No, but the admin has more.
Admin has more power.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure the difference. Yeah, I know they do have more.
Okay. So yeah, so you'd have to make Jen an admin if you want her to post on your party, which probably you're
I
only doing
am.
for new girls anyway.
Well, I'm administrator on most of my girls.
Mine are too. I am too.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I believe anyone can use Vizzly. I believe anyone can use these posts, and you can edit the post. So if you see one and you're like, I don't like that post, you can take it out and put in a new one.
So do these posting parties have videos and like JPEGs?
They're
or
all
just words?
JPEGs and words.
Okay, no videos. So if you
No
want to do a video,
videos.
you have to do that by itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one I have, there may be some out there with video, but the one I have is only pictures with posts. She even put little ticket, like little emojis for the ones that they can win prizes on. So her format is that for every comment or question on a post over the 7 days, you get in a drawing. So she even put little tickets
Mhm.
on the ones that count. So yeah, I just go on 10
Awesome.
minutes before the party and I write down everybody who commented and then I do my drawing.
Moderators can't change the page.
Okay, maybe they can just like approve people coming on and stuff, Janine. It must be it. So they need to be an admin.
Yeah, to actually post.
Yeah, to post.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it, you guys. I know it's not a lot of detail.
But it's things that are going to make our life easier.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I was like, what if I had done 20 parties by, I mean, that's 20 hours of my life that I got back for $10
Right,
a month.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that. So yeah, so pick one. I wouldn't go do all 3 tonight, but keep
Right,
Klarna in mind
right.
for star but go check out either Vizzly or go check out your Facebook printing. And I will find that before I leave here real quick.
Okay.
So we can post that in the comments.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Bye guys.